Here's a look at the top half of the Premier League table as we head towards the weekend. Manchester United 5th, Tottenham 7th. The two teams separated by just those 2 points ahead of a huge clash Saturday at Old Trafford. What are our extremely gifted pundits saying will happen in this match? Okay, Ala's taking Manchester United.
What?
Shaka taking Spurs. We got some disagreement right off the top. I love that. And then the two politicians, look at that. Stuart Robson, Jan Fjortoft, both taking a draw at 2-2. Let's welcome in Shaka, Stuart, and Jan. Guys, great to have you with us. Shaka, I'll start with you. You pick Spurs. Why?
Listen, right now I think Spurs are the most inconsistent team in European football. But they played at their best when nothing has been expected. And I think about that Man City game. I know they responded, convincing wins against both Leeds and Everton. And I just feel going into this one, there's more concern around Manchester United, continued speculation about what's happening in that dressing room, discontent. And Spurs just, as I say, just seem to find a result, find a performance when they're under the most pressure. And I think this leans into that.
Jan, to Shaka's point, they're both so inconsistent. Who do you trust more over 90 minutes?
Oh, boy.
I don't trust any of them. That's why I took a 2-2. Because they will concede, both teams will concede goals for fun. You never know which team will come in. Manchester United players too worried about reporting things that happen in the dressing room. There are more news out of the dressing room of Manchester United at an average news agency in the world. I mean, it's unbelievable. Today they came out to referendum which manager they wanted. They went with Pochettino this time. Do they have surveys? Do they have votes in that dressing room? It's unbelievable. And Tottenham, I mean, a lot of my friends are Tottenham fans. You know what I'm saying. Some good results now. Going to Manchester United with all the hopes in the world for the top 4, games in hand. And it's so typical us that we'll be disappointed. They say that all the time. So that's why I'm going for a 2-2. I have no idea which way this game will go.
Ale, you picked Manchester United.
Oh, yes, I did.
Why?
What a believer I am. I shot in the dark, really. Look, much like Shaka, who picked Spurs, and the first thing he said when you asked him why you picked Spurs, he said, well, Spurs is the most inconsistent team there is.
That would be a reason not to pick Spurs, right?
I'm sorry, are you arguing against yourself? What's happening here? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to argue against myself. There are all sorts of reasons as to why you pick against Manchester United. It feels like Manchester United is imploding. It feels like there's no reason to believe in this team. All the club legends, after the game against Manchester City, questioning the personality and the character of this group, that they gave up in the second half, that they show no fight whatsoever. So I'm going to believe that in order for you to become a Manchester United player and get to this level, there has to be some sort of competitive pride. And your pride has been questioned time and time and time again over the last week. Here's an opportunity to show something to yourself. Something. Some sort of life, some sort of pride, some sort of competitiveness, some sort of performance. There are no reasons to believe in Manchester United other than, guess what? They could not be much worse than what they've been, and Spurs are inconsistent. Maybe Manchester United is due to put up a fight.
No reasons to believe in Manchester United. What about Ronaldo? I mean, he's back.
Okay, all right.
Robbo, does Ronaldo have to go back into the 11? And if so, does that make Manchester United more likely to win this match?
Well, if you're not going to use Rashford, as they didn't do last week, then Ronaldo, if he's fit, has to come back into the side. There's no Cavani. I don't think you want to play Bruno Fernandes as the centre forward. Sancho and Alanga will probably be the wide players, and you have your midfield of Fred and Pogba. And Bruno Fernandes plays in behind Ronaldo. It's still not the ideal team, but that's probably the best team that Rangnick can put out. But he's also got to organise them properly and get some spirit in the team, because that's, and Ali's just said it, there has to be spirit in the side just for them to get any sort of result. Because in terms of their tactics, their understanding of what Rangnick's trying to do, it doesn't seem as though they're buying into that. But then, of course, you look at Spurs, and Shaka said it, most inconsistent side. I love Antonio Conte as a coach, wherever he's been. I'm not sure what he wants to do with Spurs at the moment. I'm not sure he knows what he wants to do with Spurs. Are they a counter-attacking side? Are they a side that can create opportunities by going forward? He doesn't know how to get the best out of these players at the moment, so that's a worry for him.
Robbo, to that point, he's starting to sound, Antonio Conte, and I know he's one of your favorites, like one of your arch nemesis, Arsene Wenger. I want to get this exactly right.
Okay.
He said fourth place for Spurs would be like the Champions League or a Premier League title. Isn't that basically Arsene Wenger?
Absolutely. I think Arsene Wenger called it a cup, didn't he? And, that's bigger than winning the FA Cup, and it's bigger than winning other tournaments. You've got to get in the top four. Well, at the moment, Tottenham can't win the title, that's for sure. They're not going to win the FA Cup because they got knocked out by Championship Middlesbrough. So the only target for him is to get into the top four. And it would be a good achievement for him because they started off really poorly the season under the previous manager. He has made them play slightly better, but they've had some bad days as well. I'm just hoping it's not a bad day against Manchester United.
Shaka, is this a must-win for Spurs for top four? I know you're picking them, but right now 7th. Can they afford to lose here?
I don't think either of them can afford to lose, really. When you look at the form of Arsenal, how they're showing no real signs of slowing down. You could also make an argument that Wolves are in with a shout and will put up more of a fist than Sydney. The two of them have done over recent weeks. Right now, there is no wiggle room for either Manchester United or Spurs if they are to hold on to realistic beliefs around finishing top four. Probably Man U slightly better off, but certainly Spurs cannot afford to get nothing out of this.
Jan, you picked a draw on the day. Who do you think is more likely to make top four at the end of the season?
Well, I think that with the games in hand, there is the saying it's better to have points than games in hands and everything. But if you have a look at the table, I mean, Manchester United got to win this game. They are desperate to win their games. And now they're flying around that they are linked to Robert Lewandowski. So here is Robert Lewandowski. I will leave Bayern Munich, who can win the title and win the Champions League. I will go to a club that doesn't get into the Champions League. So there's a lot of stake here, and there's a lot of stake also for Ralf Rangnick. And we were talking about Americans having a go at them sometimes in the Premier League, but also Ralf Rangnick, he has had his share of criticism as well already. They call him professor. They call him that he's not been coaching for more than 2 seasons, the last 10 seasons, and so on and so on. He's going to pick his successor and so on. I think that it's a must-win for Manchester United. They need to have those 5 points ahead of Tottenham. And then you have a look at Arsenal, who's slowly using all the young kids winning football games, and they have games in hands as well. It's a big, big day for Manchester United tomorrow.
I know you probably don't want to pick either, but let's say I give you 100 to bet on either of these two teams to make top four. What are you doing with it?
It's
my money. It's my money.
That one just going right in my pocket is what's happening. I'm not betting on any of these teams. Are you kidding me? Are you joking with that? No chance I'm betting on either one of these teams. But if I am going to bet, I'm going to use statistical trends.
Okay.
Right? Since the Wolves game by Spurs, they've gone win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, in all competition. Well, they won the last one. So let's use stats.
Okay.
I'm going to use trends. I'm going to say Manchester United win, and I'm going to say that Manchester United are the ones that go in the top four ahead of Spurs.
Okay, there you have it. And here you have the upcoming schedule for the weekend in the Premier League. Action starting bright and early on Saturday. Manchester City's visit to Crystal Palace, wrapping up the weekend on Monday.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.